What's happening, everyone? What's going on, everyone? And welcome to the Systems Lab Live. I am very excited to be here with you all. Monday's live stream, we just had a slight little, issue, and I had to, just adjust the schedule. Okay, we just had to adjust the schedule, but I'm glad to be here with you all because we're going to be talking about a really great subject tonight, which is why project management is needed in entrepreneurship and why all entrepreneurs need this particular process for their business and brand. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So if you are joining me on Instagram, please join on YouTube. I'd love to have you on YouTube because we're going to do a little teaching today. I do have I do definitely have a mock-up that I will be sharing with you all. Y'all know I love to whiteboard up in this piece. I love a good whiteboarding session. I truly, truly do. So we will kick things off in a minute. We will certainly kick things off in a minute. But I want to know what you guys are working on, how's the week going? What are you guys essentially doing? I want to know all the things that you guys are doing. So be sure to drop your name and location in the comments because I love to know where you are tuning in from. Yay! What's going on, Sarah? Great to see you. Winifred's in the building as well. All right, y'all. What y'all working on this week? It's a new month. It's a new quarter. All right. And I know many people are working on lots of different things. There's different projects going on. There are different launches that are happening right now. So, yes. What is the happening? What's going on? Gary Jones, DMV in the building. Gary, we are neighbors. Did you know this? I love it. I love that Gary and I are neighbors. Anything that you guys are working on, I'd love to know. Just drop that in the chat. What am I working on? Which is a really good question. So I am working on a couple of different things. I'm working on a project launch, and so that will be released very shortly. What else am I working on? Working on some cool client stuff. And then I have some SOP process overhaul that I'll most likely do maybe in May. Maybe I'll start that in May. It's April 6th. I feel like I still have time in the month, but I feel like May is a perfect time it's close to that 6-month mark where I can do some revamp of some processes. So that is what I am going to do. So, what is it that I would like to talk to you guys about today? We are going to, before we drop into the topic of the day, which we're talking about the importance of project management in entrepreneurship, why it's needed, why it's one of the most underrated processes in business. Period. This particular process, project management, is going to help you grow and scale your business. I'm telling you it is. All right. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But I do want to get into show and tell with Ask Ash. I do want to talk about that because I think this is very important that we look at some of these tools that we work with or that we've heard of that aid us in our work. Okay. I want to also put a definition out there for you. One, it's called work management, and it's something that the neighbors of the project in the project management world, the software world, which is which is Asana, which is a project management tool. So they have something called work management, which it's different from project management. When we're talking about project management, we're really talking about the managing of a particular initiative, something that you undertake that brings about a unique product, service, or result. So you manage a process to bring out a particular deliverable or a particular result. Whether work management is more about the process of how do you coordinate your work, like the day-to-day work. What's the process? What's the system that you're building? Right? What is the overarching coordination pieces across your business and your brand? And in some cases, well, in a lot of cases, within a particular organization, that's what we talk about when we talk about the work management piece of it. And so when we look at work management, it's not just, oh, I have a project, or let me check this particular task off for the project. We're looking at the process, we're looking at the actual overarching goal of what you're looking to accomplish on a day-to-day basis. Okay, that is what that's what one thing I wanted to definitely discuss, this aspect of work management. Is it new for y'all? Let me know in the chat. Is that a new concept for you? I've heard it for the past couple of years, but we never really, talked about this aspect of work management. I will eventually do a breakdown of the task management versus the project management piece of it. That's definitely going to be really important, also for us to discuss as well. Now, when we get into the show and tell with Ask Ash, we're really going to be diving into a particular tool that aids in the process, in your business. So we're going to open up. We're going to do a little Airtable demo. That's what we're going to be doing right now. So let's look into that. Let's look into that. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So, for those that may be familiar with Airtable, looks a little bit like Microsoft Excel, except Airtable is more of a database. It's more of a database. It's more of an interactive database. You can do all sorts of things with Airtable. One of the things that I really like about this particular tool is the fact that you can really organize a lot of different types, a lot of different types of data sets in there in this particular tool. So we are going to look into Airtable specifically. What you'll see here is you'll see this little piece that says interfaces. That's something that's different. That's Airtable has just rolled out, so it's all about being able to create like almost like a visual dashboard of your data. I have not had the opportunity. I feel like I need to have like some sort of Airtable party or put this on my schedule of some sort, something that I need to do, right? Something where I can be able to go in and explore these features. So I'm going to open up one of the bases, and they call them bases. You would say that bases maybe you could equate it to maybe sheets, kind of, maybe, or Excel tabs, maybe. But yeah, that's essentially what a base is. That's essentially what a base is. And so I am, hold on, I'm pinning a comment on the Instagram so folks can join me on YouTube. Join me on YouTube, folks. All right, let's get this party started. So I'm actually going to click right here, and I'm going to show you a question. I'll just show you a little bit around. Oh, so something that is great about what Airtable does is that Airtable, what you're able to do is really look at information and say and really organize it in a way that is meaningful to you and that you can actually be able to track it in a unique way. So what do I mean by that? So let me just slow it down, let me break it down, let me just be a little bit more clearer so that we understand what we would use a Airtable for. So we're backing it all the way up. Airtable is an interactive database. Think Google Sheets, think Excel, and think about the merging of the two like a marriage, and that this is a brand new explosive product. Excuse me, a brand new explosive product where you can do a lot more things like interact with the cells and interact in between the data points so that you can just keep track of things. What would I use Airtable for? I'm so glad that you asked that question. I personally use Airtable for a couple of different things. Number one, when I think about tracking things, if I need to track something, I think Airtable. Okay. So what does that mean? So one thing for myself is that I use Airtable I have a people database. So what that means is that I use it to really track my interactions with individuals, whether it's coffee chats, discovery calls. What else do I use it for? The people tracker? Any type of if someone buys me coffee, like you go to buy me a tea. Well, let's really buy me a coffee, but buy me a tea because I drink tea, and I use to track who does that. My text message squad, who signs up for the text message squad. So there's so many ways in my people tracker where I literally track um, how I interact with people. Another way that I use Airtable is for tracking speaking engagements. Anytime that I'm asked to speak, to train, to host, anything like that, I use to track. I have a content repository. And so what that is that 2 years ago, this was literally September 2019 to be exact, September 2019, I literally what I did was I knew that if I were to create content, I knew that I didn't want to have to search through my Instagram profile and say to myself, okay, when did I post? And like, what did I say in terms of the copy? I was like, I need to create something where every time that I post to Instagram, that Instagram, that Zapier, which is a workflow tool, an automation and workflow tool, basically takes my Instagram posts and my videos and then puts them into Airtable. And basically, I have a huge content repository. I probably have about 900 and some records or content that basically, whenever I'm looking to repurpose my content or I rate my content or I go back and, look at what I've created, I go back in Airtable into that base and I go and I just do and I review that information. So there's so many different ways. You can also do, I would say, lightweight project management within Airtable, but Airtable is a great way also to manage your coaching, some of your coaching clients. Like for instance, if you need to, if you want to wait, if you want a way to get questions, or if you want to use it to survey your audience, Airtable is a perfect way where you can send out surveys, get information. You can create a mini CRM if you want to, which you are creating a table which has like the name, the phone number, their email address. You can do a lot of different things with that. And so, for instance, what I'm showing you right here is the Systems Lab questionnaire. Well, there's two things. There's a Systems Lab Q&A, and let me look at here. So the Q&A looks like this. So if people have a question, and I guess I need to start promoting this more. I didn't even think about that till now. So the Systems Lab Q&A, if anyone has a question, then they can submit the question. I'll receive an email, and then I can look at it and say, okay, this is a really great question. I can either turn it into like a video and post it on my YouTube channel, or I can answer the question live. And so therefore I can keep track of the most common forms, or excuse me, the most common questions that people are asking. Now, the Systems Lab questionnaire is something that I created to get feedback on the Systems Lab. So this is just, I need, my 1-year anniversary was coming up. The Systems Lab has recently celebrated its 1-year anniversary in March. I'm looking to make some changes. I need your help. Please complete the survey. So this is content suggestions. If people are interested in, a community for them to drop their Instagram, and then would you be in favor of moving the Systems Lab to YouTube? So that was a question that I had. So this is great because therefore I can collect this data and I can then use it and say, all right, this is what people are saying and this is what people are thinking, right? So listen, using Airtable is something that, for me, I would say is one of the top, maybe 5, I probably would say 5 tech tools that you should be using. Okay. Now let's see. I'm going to go into another one. Let's see. We got the Systems Lab Q&A. This is the people thing I was telling y'all about, the people database. And then this is, lo and behold, this is the content strategy base that I have. And so this goes all the way back. If you see right here, you can see 2020 right here. It goes all the way back to 2020. I've made some changes to it so far. And what's great about this is that I can group it by performance. And so what's good about this is that what I do in here is that every week I go in and sort of look at my analytics. I look at LinkedIn, which, hello, LinkedIn. I am waiting for the API to open up. Come on, LinkedIn. Come on, LinkedIn. I'm looking for the API to open up because I would love to start doing the same thing that I'm doing with Airtable, that I'm doing with Instagram. This is the Instagram like library that I have right now. I go in, I think about, oh, don't I have content on X? And then I literally do a search on it. But I wanted to categorize what were some of my more top performing posts. So this is really if I get a certain amount of saves, if I get a certain amount of shares or comments, I will rate it like a 4 or a 5, and then I can go in here and sort of and be able to look at it and and sort of have that at the pocket. So you'll see right here, it says name, it has the platform, the image. So it pulls carousels. No, it does not pull carousels. I lied. It pulls video, and then it pulls like the picture only. And then the date posted, the post performance, any notes or observations about the post. The status, I didn't really, I probably just need to go ahead and hide this. Because I had something when I was using Airtable to do all of my planning, I would have the planning tab, but I switched from using Airtable last July to transferring all of my content creation and all of that to ClickUp. Am I 100% satisfied? Kind of, sort of, maybe. At times, not really. Um, and it actually has nothing to do with ClickUp and its ability to manage the content at all. Um, and it really has to mainly do with my frame of mind and how I like things organized. Oh, okay. I love this. You have a number of platforms and systems to remain organized. I do, and I attribute that to thinking ahead to when I'm hiring. Um, I like to think of this from the perspective of, if I need to find information, I'm not necessarily scrambling all the time. And again, there's ebbs and flows to it. There's other areas where I'm like, all right, I probably need to tighten up on this. But thank you for that, Gary. I appreciate that comment. I have worked hard on this base. So what's great about this is that I can pull the link so I can see the original post. So if I click on this hyperlink right here, that's automated. So that's automated. It's the picture, it's the picture video, it's the copy, and then it is the link, which is great because I can go, when I click on it, I can go and look at it, and then I can actually go and see some of the post insights and all this different type of stuff. So that is Airtable. Let me see. Now, if I were to go with Systems Lab, okay, go live planning. I may go back to this as well. But this is really wherein I organize when I was doing my Instagram lives. Yeah, my Instagram lives. When I was doing my Instagram lives, I wanted a way to remember what I was teaching or training on or doing lives on. So I created this. This is not complete. I don't know if I'll ever go back to it or not, but at least I have some record of it. Some record of it. Let me see if there's anything else to show you all that could be fun to show you. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, okay. This was a survey that I sent out to my text tribe, just asking them what they thought about my content. So they can give me some feedback on that. Yep. So that's the deep dive. It's 8:23. I do want to get to the lesson of the day so that you guys can really, hone in on what we're looking at. So the bottom line is that Airtable is a great tech tool for you to have in your business to track content, to do lightweight task management. This is also you also can use it for podcast planning as well. You can use it for a lightweight CRM if you'd like to. You can use it for planning out your emails. You can use it for YouTube planning. There's a lot that you can do with Airtable. So I'm an advocate for it. I'm also an advocate for you to eventually upgrade to the paid plan as well. There's just more things that you can do. All right. We shall stop sharing and we will get to everything at hand. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get to the chart. Okay. Let's share, shall we? All right. All right, y'all. We're also using Miro. That is another tool that you can use for whiteboarding. I'm actually going to zoom in on this part first before we get into anything else. Okay, great. That looks good. You guys can see that. All right. So we are addressing 2 questions tonight for tonight's live. The first question is, what is project management? And the second one is, why is it relevant to my business? Like, you are you're a creative, you are a business coach, you're a consultant, maybe you're a speaker, trainer, author, maybe you are, maybe you're a content creator, maybe, whatever it is. But I specifically want to hone in to especially the small business owners with teams, right? Those that are in the service provider industry, those that provide a certain service. I want to make sure that we really understand like what this is when we're talking about the project management. Yeah, for sure does look like Jamboard a little bit, right? So a couple of things too. When we talk about this thing of project management, why is it relevant to entrepreneurship? So let's look at what is project management. We're looking at it from this aspect of managing a particular initiative, your virtual event, your in-person event, your process, your service, your result. You are undertaking an endeavor so that you can deliver something unique to people, right? We're in the business nowadays where we really need to be developing and executing and delivering things at a high level, whatever it is in your wheelhouse and your expertise. So it's the management, it's the knowledge, it's the skills, it's the tools, it's the techniques. That is what project management is. Your book, your service, your NFT, a TV show is a project. What else is a project that's out there? Put something in the chat, something that you're working on that is a project. Put that in the chat. Because as business owners, we are working on projects every day. In fact, I bet you have texted, whether you have accountability partners or other friends that are that are in business, or maybe just friends in general, with whomever, that you say, man, I can't wait till this project is over. We are in it when it talks about the projects. Okay, project management refers to guiding project work to deliver intended outcomes. So that's what it is. Okay. Project management, and there's many folks where they have not heard of project management before. They were like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I love it. A conference, course creation. Yes. A course conference is a project. Yes, absolutely. Whether it's live, pre-recorded, well, yeah, it's just like the type of how you did it, but you know what I mean. Course or conference, that is a project, okay? Excuse me. That's a project. So when we're looking at project management, it's a virtual class. Oh, I love that. That's it. That's a virtual class. I love that. So you're using your knowledge, you're using a technique, a strategy to deliver value to people. Okay. So the project that you're working on, course creation, virtual class. Excellent. I love that. Thank you all so much for that piece. Okay. I'm very glad. Now, let's look at this. How does it fit into my business? Oh, wait a minute. Let me go down here. Let me go down here because we want to make sure that we have this right here. So what types of projects do I manage? So definition, we just went over it, but the definition of a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. Boom, that's the definition. Right then and there. What types of projects do I manage or do we manage? We just said it right here. Membership community, a website, an app, a product, a coaching program. You can improve a process. That's a project in itself too. All of this that we're doing. Whenever you hear launch, that's a project. Whenever somebody says, I'm launching X, I'm launching a YouTube channel, I'm launching my podcast, I'm launching a new product, I'm launching a new service, that is a project. But what makes it your own, right? Because how you manage a project is going to be different from how I manage a project. So we're talking about unique skills, techniques, and ability that deliver a unique product, service, or result. Boom. I love it. Selecting and organizing guests for a video podcast. That is right. That is right. Absolutely. That's a part. And again, that's even like, and we're going to get really granular with that. Let's get a little bit granular with that because that's really a task within a project too. I love that though. That's all a part of it. Absolutely. That's all a part of it. So I want to pop over here because I think this is really important for how does project management fit into my business? What is the purpose of it? This, my friends, is one of the missing links. So we've answered the first question, what is project management? The second question is this. Why is it relevant? What's the purpose? How does it fit into my business? Okay? So I want to help you all. I want to help you all because one thing that helped me to crystallize this whole thing is that you guys heard of strategic planning. Put a one in the chat if you have heard of strategic planning. So here's what I want to see. Here's what I want to see. Strategic planning. That's actually going about, looking at what is the plan, um so to speak, for your business. Okay? That's what we're looking at for the strategic planning, right? And I want to go, and I'm actually going to look up the specific definition of strategic planning. So make sure I kind of got it right. So we're looking at strategic planning is the organization's process of defining its strategy, direction, and making decisions on allocating its resources to pursue the strategy. So that's what strategic planning is. You're looking at your organization, okay? You're looking at where you're headed and where you're going, right? It's the direction, it's the strategy, it's making decisions on where is your business going to go. So how does project management fit into this? Because here's what it does. When you have goals for your business, okay, when you have um, things that you are looking to accomplish, your projects should support your business goals. It should be in strategic alignment with your business and your brand. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean by that is this. You may have a certain, maybe I'm just going to go with a monetary goal, maybe it's a brand visibility goal, maybe, certain things, right? So what I mean by that is that whatever your goal is, and it could be X amount of money, it could be something, again, brand visibility, you want to make sure that you have projects that are in strategic alignment with your business goals, which means that if you are looking to have a virtual conference or an in-person conference, and maybe that is, maybe that's like a revenue stream, maybe that's going to help, you sell a coaching program or something of that nature. You want to really make sure that you are in strategic alignment with your business, and project management helps you to shape that. It helps you to run your business smoothly. And that's the second point. and it can help you scale your business. Okay. All right. I love these comments in the chat. I didn't realize improving processes was a part of PM. That's right. Come through. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I like her using Mural platform to complete and engage in. I will utilize this technique in my class. Come on, Gary. Come on, Gary. You got to use the Miro. Miro is fantastic. So I'm hoping people in the comments that we're making a connection on this. Please, yeah, let me know if this makes sense in the comments about how the project management. And again, we got to go back to the core definition of what we're talking about right here. We're talking about this piece of it, because project management is a process. Okay, this is a process. You are using it to you're using it to, you have your skills, your knowledge, your tools, you're delivering something that's of value. Okay, project management fits into your business because you are delivering a project in your business that's in strategic alignment with your business goals. All right. Does that make sense, people? Right. So you want to make sure, this is what I truly believe. This is what I truly believe. This is what I teach my clients. Because we do a lot of goal setting, which I think is important to have goals, right? I think it's supremely important that we have goals. But what makes the goals a reality is not just like the deadlines or the SMART goal method per se, even though SMART goal method is good and OKRs are great. But it's your system, right? It's really your system and your process that's going to help you reach that goal. And project management does that. So what happens, what used to happen with me, and let's be transparent, right? Um, yes, yes, I've always been a naturally organized person, but I want to take you back to times when I was like loosey goosey with it. And what I mean by that is that whenever I was spinning, meaning like I whenever I wasn't hitting my mark, it's because I didn't have a process in place. Okay. And so what happens is when there is a lack of process, I lose time, my energy is off, I'm missing deadlines. What else is there? My level of execution is lower. I'm making mistakes. And so what I advocate for is every business and brand having a project management process in their business. Okay. I if you are a full-time content creator, you need project management in your business. You need a process in place, especially YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You need a process from start to finish that is your own, because here's the thing that people may not realize. You can customize it the way you want. That's the beauty part of it. There's all these different, I'm telling you, and I have my the book I always study. I study this project management book. I read about it all the time. The thing about it is that you can really run your business and really scale it when you have a process that's in place. Meaning that when you hire folks, and for my consultants and my service providers, um and my coaches, here's what here's what's really going to help you out. You get a client that comes in. Let's say you get 5 of them that come in. Maybe at times you're like, oh my gosh, in the beginning, maybe you're like, oh goodness gracious, what am I going to do? Your process, not the onboarding and the offboarding, but like the process of how you're going to deliver something to your client. You might have 4 phases, 5 phases, 6 phases, whatever it is, and you can actually bring your clients through that same process. Which means that if you go to hire somebody, you're able to plug and play your team members with this project management process. Why? Because you're sitting there and you are delivering, okay? You are delivering something that's valuable. What's up, Shayna? What's up, Winter? How are you? How are you guys doing? So everyone, all right, and put something in the chat if you're understanding what I'm talking about, because we are in 2022, people, and the cost of disorganization, we can't afford to be disorganized. I just want us to be clear on that. It's 2022, and we just can't afford to be disorganized. We have too many tools out here. We have too many resources out here. You know what I'm saying? We have too much that we can do. Now, this is not to say don't adopt 40 different tools. All right. Like, this is not about, you could listen, before all these tools came out, they were doing project management 40 and 50 years ago. They were just doing it with the good old, what is this? Good old pen and paper. You know what I'm saying? They were just doing with a little notepad and just going on and doing their thing. But project management fits into your business, right? You content creator, all right? I already mentioned that. You have a course. Let's say you want to have a series of courses, okay? You can create a process for that. Absolutely. What's the, and then being able to run the process, right? Maybe your business is you create courses for other people. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Like, this right here. Let me slide on over. Project management refers to guiding project work to deliver intended outcomes. This is what this is. Okay. This is what that is. Now let's go down to other fun facts, and we will take questions if you guys have questions. Project solves a problem. It improves efficiency and productivity. Project management is a process, right? It's not a tool. ClickUp, Asana, Notion, all these things, they help leverage. Technology can help you leverage your process so that you can be more efficient. And a project management meets the needs of your customer. It's a key part of you delivering your product or service to your customer. Okay, project solve problems. There's an issue, you see something, it's almost like you see something that's missing in the marketplace. It's just like that. Your project is there to deliver something of value. It's there to it's there to help people, and it's there to, again, solve a problem. Questions. Did this make sense, folks? Let me know if this made sense. Does anyone have questions about project management? We'll definitely pick this up on Monday with just some more aspects of like what's inside of actually performing project management. Many people may think that this looks hard. It's not hard because we're actually already doing it, but we're just not calling it necessarily with the quote unquote formal type of the formal process to it, the formal names to it. All right, good. Gary Jones said, wonderful explanation. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is something that I believe. I strongly believe in it. I want to go back to this little orange block, but it is just my belief that when you're looking at growing your business, yes, you're going to need the systems. Yes, you're going to need the SOPs. All of that. Again, this is just one of the processes that you need in your business is project management. Many of the questions that I get are around two things. How do I manage my work? Like that day-to-day work. And again, work management is different from project management. When we're talking about work management, we're talking about how do I coordinate processes, whether you are within an organization, or your business or your brand, how do I coordinate the overall process of managing my time, managing tasks, and managing processes to get my work done? Now, project management is focused on a particular deliverable or result, right? Sometimes it's like sometimes it's like one and done. Okay. And so we'll probably going to get into more aspects of like work management and what that means. I am going to be going over that with a client of mine in another week or so, looking at that. But we're going to get into some of the things of like planning and what is the planning process, what does the execution process look like, what does it mean to lead and manage a team, all those types of things. So we have some good topics for the rest of April to go through and everything. So all right, y'all. Let me know if there's any questions that you do have. Certainly, I'll definitely let me I feel like I have a certain natural inclinations when it comes to PM. However, what do you suggest as far as training in project management? Oh, I love it. So, to get more education on project management, I would use LinkedIn Learning. I would definitely use courses within Udemy, UDMY, just to learn, the project management sort of language and everything. That's what I would absolutely that's what I would absolutely do. That's a really great question. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely videos, training. There's lots of, different types of books out there, but yeah, I would try courses within Udemy or LinkedIn Learning has some really great courses. Now, when let's see, we'll stop this right now. Keep the questions coming, but we do have the challenge of the week. What I always like to do when it comes to the challenge of the week is I always like to have a call to action for people. Now, the challenge of the week is usually something really simple, but it just gets people just to think about things. So, what I want you to do is think about the one project that you're working on right now. Okay. And one thing that we did not get into, which is the tasks. Every project has many tasks, right? And these are just bite size, like smaller, like work pieces that you are executing on. So, for instance, Gary said earlier when he said selecting and organizing a guest for video podcast. So, let's say your project is you're launching your podcast, or you can also have ongoing projects, which are podcasting. So, one of the tasks can be that you are going to select and organize a guest for a video podcast. So that's like an executable item, an action item. So like task and action item. Those are absolutely under the umbrella of a project. So, what I want you to do is think of a project that you're working on and write down what are the three tasks that you have to complete for this project. There's probably more, but what are the three main tasks? Okay. Y'all got it? Does that make sense? Now, if you want to join the live crew, this is where you guys, when you watch any of my lives, I have a text message community where what you can do is this: text me questions about what it is you're learning. So you text live to #live to 626-722-54444. So that's when I've have some live streams up. And if you go to any of them, if you got questions about them, I would love to hear from you. And I'll text you right back. I'll get back to you on your question. And that is just a really great way, again, to build community offline with you. And if you have questions, because a lot of times when we are doing our work, we're working on projects, we may have a question. And yeah, that's the text message community right then and there. All right. All right. If there's not any more questions, last but not least, I definitely want to What was the last thing that I wanted to do? All right. Think of a project. Right. Yep. Exactly. That's it, Claudia. Think of a project and write down the 3 main tasks. Exactly. That's exactly what I'd like for you to do. Okay. All right. All right. So for those of you that, if you ever heard of ClickUp, again, I talked about that technology piece. That is something that is a tool that I work with. That is something that I definitely help my clients with. This is a service that I offer, a ClickUp VIP day. So that's something, again, you text that number and you can find out more information about how to work with me one on one, where I set up your ClickUp space in a day. And I'd love to talk with you more about how we can work together. And I do that within a day. And that's 3 different type of workflows. And I also do coaching for 30 days that comes with this particular service. But it's great. It's fun. You kind of get all set up in a day. You also learn about how to manage projects as well. And it's good. It's really good. Gary says, prepare 2 months ahead for my podcast, create more questions for potential guests, create more intro and outro. Exactly. Exactly. And here's the thing about that is taking it a step further is putting a time frame and a deadline on each of those. Okay. So even for create more questions for the potential guests, how many questions will you have? Right. And even when you think about guest preparation, think about it this way. When you're talking about the guest preparation, what is everything that your guest needs to be prepared? I with this a lot when it comes to guest preparation. I got an email that goes out. I got a checklist. I'm thinking about all the things, and whenever I have a guest for my podcast, I sit down. I'm sitting down for a good 30 minutes to an hour. I'm doing the research. So make sure that you're breaking that down even more. The questions, how many questions, what does that guest experience look like for your podcast? Now, I'm always trying to learn from other people too about like how to structure all this. But I love that. Create more intros and outros. So I like that. Just get real specific with it. Good job, Gary. Awesome. Claudia has a challenge of the week up. I love this. Think of a project that you're working on and write down 3 main tasks that you need to complete. Exactly. Awesome. Thank you guys so very much. We'll be back on Monday, this Monday, the 11th, same time. And we will pick it back up and we'll talk more about developing the vision and maybe tap into the actual planning piece of project management. But we're going to talk about, before you begin a project, what are some things that you need to be thinking about? The budget. You need to be thinking about who you need. You need to think about the other resources, the timing, all of these different types of things. And we're going to walk through some of these aspects of it. What does it mean to create a project vision for the project that you're working on? It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So stay tuned. Be sure to share this live to someone that you know, someone that is working on a project. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for your level of engagement. And we'll talk soon. Bye.